I never thought a Tuesday afternoon workout would turn into the most disturbing, surreal confrontation of my adult life. I'm not religious. I don't hate religion. I just believe, strongly, that what someone believes is their business, especially in a place like a gym. Apparently that belief was enough to make me a target. This happened about 6 months ago at my local gym. It's one of those mid-range gyms, not fancy, not sketchy. Clean locker rooms, decent equipment, lots of regulars. The kind of place where you nod at familiar faces but don't really talk. I had been going there consistently for almost 2 years. Same routine, same time, same treadmill near the windows. That day was supposed to be no different. I arrived around 4:30 p.m., right after work. The gym was moderately busy. The after-work crowd, mostly people with earbuds in, minds elsewhere. I checked in, grabbed a locker, changed, and headed straight to the cardio area. Nothing felt off. I started my warm-up jog, scrolling through a podcast playlist on my phone. I remember thinking how calm everything felt. Sunlight coming through the big front windows, low hum of machines, a couple arguing quietly over a bench press, normal gym stuff. Then I noticed her. At first she was just another woman in the gym. Middle-aged, blonde hair pulled back too tight. Athletic wear that looked brand new, like she'd bought it just for appearances. She wasn't working out. She was standing near the free weights, arms crossed, just watching people. That should have been my first warning sign. I didn't think much of it and kept running. About 10 minutes into my run, I caught her staring at me. Not a quick glance, not curiosity. She was staring. Direct eye contact, no shame, no blinking. I looked away, assuming she'd move on. A minute later, I glanced back. She was still staring. I felt that uncomfortable tightening in my chest, the one that says, something's wrong, but you don't know what yet. I checked my reflection in the window. Shirt fine, shorts fine, nothing weird. So I ignored it. Big mistake. She waited until I slowed the treadmill down. The second my feet hit the side rails, I heard a voice behind me. Excuse me. Polite, almost sweet. I turned around and pulled out one earbud. Yeah? She smiled, but it wasn't warm. It was tight, forced. You look lost, she said. That threw me off. Lost? I asked. Yes, she said, nodding slowly. Spiritually. I blinked. I actually laughed a little, thinking it was a joke. Okay, I said, turning back toward the treadmill. She stepped closer, too close. I've been praying for a sign today, she continued. And God showed me you. I froze. This wasn't funny anymore. I'm sorry, I said, trying to stay calm. I'm just here to work out. She frowned. Well, that's exactly the problem. I turned fully to face her now. What problem? She gestured vaguely at my clothes, my headphones, my phone. Distractions, vanity. This place is full of them. I could feel people nearby starting to glance over. Ma'am, I said firmly, I'm not interested. Her smile disappeared instantly. That switch, sweet to hostile, happened so fast it made my stomach drop. Don't be rude, she snapped. I'm trying to save you. Save me, at the gym. I took a step back. I didn't ask for that, I said. Please leave me alone. She crossed her arms again. You people always say that, she muttered. What people? I asked. She looked me up and down like I was something dirty. Lost ones. That's when anger started bubbling up. I don't know who you think you are, I said. But you don't get to talk to me like that. She scoffed loudly. This gym allows all beliefs, she said. You don't get to silence mine. I stared at her. I'm not silencing you, I replied. I'm asking you to leave me alone. She leaned in and lowered her voice. You need Jesus. I felt my face heat up. People were definitely watching now. A guy on a nearby elliptical slowed down. A woman paused mid-stretch. This is harassment, I said quietly. Back off. Her eyes widened. Harassment, she repeated loudly. For offering guidance? Then she raised her voice. Everyone here is so sensitive these days. God forbid someone tries to help. A few heads snapped in our direction. That's when I noticed something clipped to her gym bag. A small clear bottle, filled with water. At the time I didn't know what it was. I would soon. She picked up her bag and unzipped it just enough to tap the bottle. I carry protection, she said calmly. My heart skipped. Protection from what? I asked. She smiled again. From evil. I took a step back. Okay, that's it, I said. I'm getting staff. She tilted her head. You can't outrun God's plan. I turned and started walking toward the front desk. Behind me, she called out, You should be grateful I noticed you. I didn't respond. I just wanted out of the situation. But that was when she raised her voice one last time. If you don't accept the word, you'll accept the cleansing. I stopped, slowly turned around. What did you just say? She lifted the bottle slightly. You'll see. I stood there for a second, my heart pounding harder than it ever had during any workout. You'll see. That sentence echoed in my head as I turned away and walked toward the front desk. I didn't run. I didn't yell. I told myself, stay calm, be the adult, let staff handle it. Big mistake. The front desk had 2 employees on duty, a young guy checking memberships and a woman wiping down counters. I walked straight up and said, I need help. There's a woman harassing me on the gym floor. The guy looked up. Harassing how? She's following me, preaching at me and threatening me. That got his attention. The woman at the desk frowned. Threatening? Yes, I said. She said something about cleansing me. They exchanged a glance. Okay, the guy said slowly. We'll go talk to her. I exhaled in relief. Finally. We walked back together toward the cardio area. She was still there, standing exactly where I left her, arms crossed, watching me. The moment she saw the staff coming, her entire posture changed. Shoulders back, chin up, smile on. Like she'd flipped a switch. The guy cleared his throat. Ma'am, we've received a complaint. She gasped. Oh my goodness, she said, placing a hand on her chest. A complaint? Yes, he said. We need you to leave this member alone. She turned to look at me like I'd personally betrayed her. I was just having a conversation, she said sweetly. Is that not allowed anymore? I opened my mouth to speak. She cut me off. He approached me, she lied. Started mocking my faith. My jaw dropped. That's not, I began. The staff guy raised a hand. Okay, let's just keep things calm. I stared at him. Calm? She followed me, I said firmly. She told me I need cleansing. The woman tilted her head and laughed softly. Oh, honey, she said. That's metaphorical. I felt my hands clench. That's not how it sounded, I replied. She turned to the staff again. You see, he's aggressive. Aggressive. For standing there. For breathing. The staff woman sighed. Ma'am, maybe it's best if you both just give each other space. Both. I looked at her in disbelief. She's the one harassing me, I said. I just want to work out. The blonde woman smiled. See? That's all I want too. As if on cue, she adjusted her gym bag. The bottle inside shifted. I pointed at it. What's that? Her smile widened. Blessed water. The staff guy frowned. Ma'am, you can't bring liquids onto the floor unless they're sealed. She waved him off. It's sealed spiritually. I felt sick. That's what she threatened me with, I said. She said she'd cleanse me. The woman laughed loudly. Oh, please, she said. I wouldn't waste holy water on someone who doesn't want saving. Then she leaned closer. But if God instructs me. The staff did nothing. Nothing. That's when she dropped the bomb. She pointed at me and said, You live on Maple Ridge, don't you? My stomach flipped. How do you know where I live? I asked. She smirked. I know all the residents. The staff guy looked confused. Ma'am? She puffed up proudly. I'm on the HOA board. There it was. The entitlement. The authority she thought she had. I make sure our community stays righteous. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. You don't know me, I said. You don't get to bring my home into this. She shrugged. Public records are a blessing. The staff finally stepped in. Okay, that's enough, the woman said. Please take your belongings and move to another area. Not leave, just move. As the staff walked away, I stood there shaking with anger. She leaned toward me and whispered, You should have listened. I snapped. Stay away from me. She straightened up and raised her voice again. God sees your anger, and I see your harassment, I shot back. Try me again and I'll call the police. That's when she smiled like she'd been waiting for that. Oh, sweetheart, she said. Police won't help you where this is going. My heart pounded. What does that mean? She reached into her bag. She didn't throw it. Not yet. She unscrewed the cap. The sound was soft, but loud enough for me to hear. Click. She dipped her fingers into the bottle. I froze. The gym seemed to go quiet. Then she flicked her fingers toward me. Water droplets hit my arm. Cold. Real. I stared at my skin in shock. She laughed. Just a warning, she said. Next time it's the full blessing. People gasped. Someone yelled, What the hell? The staff rushed back over. What did you do? The guy shouted. She raised her hands innocently. I sprinkled him. I backed away, furious. That's assault, I said. She tilted her head. It's salvation. The moment those droplets hit my arm, something inside me snapped. Not rage at first, shock. Pure, stunned disbelief that a grown adult had just sprinkled me with holy water in a public gym and thought that was okay. I stared down at my skin, then back at her. She was smiling, not nervously, not awkwardly. She looked satisfied, like she'd just completed a task. "What is wrong with you?" I shouted. The entire cardio area had stopped. Machines slowed. People pulled out earbuds. Phones came up. The front desk guy rushed over, his face red. "Ma'am, you need to leave. Now." She lifted her chin. "I didn't harm him. You touched him without consent," he said. "That's not okay." She scoffed. "It was water." "No," I said loudly. "It was harassment, and it's on camera." That got her attention. Her eyes flicked up toward the ceiling. For a split second I saw doubt. Then it hardened into something worse. Defiance. "If you kick me out," she said calmly, "you'll be discriminating against my religion." The staff woman shook her head. "That's not what this is." "Yes, it is," the HOA Karen snapped. "He mocked my beliefs." "That's a lie," I shouted. She pointed at me dramatically. "See, hostile spirit." People started murmuring. One guy said, "Lady, you're insane." Another woman whispered, "Call the cops." That's when the staff finally did what they should have done 10 minutes ago. The guy pulled out his phone. "Ma'am," he said, "I'm calling the police." Everything should have stopped there. It didn't. The moment she heard the word police, her expression changed completely. Not fear, not panic, fury. "How dare you?" she hissed, reaching into her bag again. "Don't," I warned instinctively, stepping back. She ignored me. She grabbed the bottle. This time she didn't unscrew it calmly. She ripped the cap off. Before anyone could react, she hurled the entire bottle at me. Cold water slammed into my chest, soaked my shirt, splashed my face, dripped down my neck. The shock made me gasp. The gym erupted. People screamed. Someone yelled, "What the fu—" I stood there drenched, heart pounding, eyes burning, not from the water, but from the humiliation. She stood there breathing hard. "Be cleansed," she shouted. That was it. The staff guy was already on the phone, shouting. "Yes, assault, yes, right now." I wiped water from my eyes. My hands were shaking. I wasn't scared anymore. I was angry. Deeply, violently angry. "You're done," I said quietly. She laughed. "You think this ends here?" she said. "This is just the beginning." She leaned in close enough that only I could hear. "I know exactly where you live," she whispered. "And I will not tolerate corruption in my community." My blood ran cold. "You come near my home," I said, "and I'll ruin you." She smiled wider. "We'll see." The police arrived within minutes. 2 officers. They separated us immediately. I told them everything. The staring, the preaching, the threats, the splash. They checked the cameras. They didn't even hesitate. They turned to her. "Ma'am," one officer said, "you're being escorted out." She exploded. "This man is possessed," she shouted. "You can't let him go free." The officers exchanged looks. One sighed. "Ma'am, you need to calm down." She pointed at me. "He lives on Maple Ridge." That made one officer look at me. "You okay?" he asked. I nodded. "She's on my HOA board," I said. That got their attention. They didn't arrest her, but they warned her. Firmly. And they banned her from the gym. As she was escorted out, she twisted around and screamed. "This isn't over." I stood there soaked, humiliated, furious. I thought that was the worst of it. I was wrong. I went home that night still smelling like chlorine and humiliation. I showered longer than I needed to, scrubbing my skin like I could wash off the memory of her voice, her eyes, the way she smiled when she crossed every line imaginable. I told myself it was over. She was banned from the gym. The police had warned her. Normal people would stop. She wasn't normal. 3 days later, I came home from work and found a bright orange paper taped to my front door. HOA violation notice. My stomach dropped. I ripped it down and read it. Violation. Trash bins visible from the street outside of approved hours. I stared at it in disbelief. My trash bins were behind my fence. They always were. I walked around the side of my house to check. Nothing had changed. That's when it clicked. Her voice echoed in my head. "You think this ends here?" Over the next 2 weeks, the notices kept coming. Grass allegedly overgrown. It had been mowed 2 days earlier. Holiday lights left up. It was December. Vehicle parked incorrectly in my own driveway. Each notice included a fine. Small at first, then bigger. Every single one was signed by the same name. Her name. I felt sick. I decided to confront it directly. I showed up to the next HOA meeting, documents in hand, Photos ready. She was there, sitting at the front table, smiling. When she saw me, her smile widened, like she'd been waiting. I raised my hand and spoke. "These violations are false," I said, "and I believe I'm being targeted." She leaned into the microphone. "We don't target," she said calmly. "We protect the community." I slammed my photos on the table. "Explain this," I said. She glanced at them and shrugged. "Photos can be deceptive." The room murmured. I felt my hands shake. "This is retaliation," I said, "because of what happened at the gym." She tilted her head. "Are you accusing a woman of faith of revenge?" "Gaslighting." Again. Then she said something that made everything clear. "Our neighborhood has standards," she said. "Spiritual standards, moral standards." She looked straight at me. "And some people don't fit." There it was. It was never about God. It was about power. That night I installed cameras. 2 days later, one caught her walking past my house, slowly, stopping, looking directly into the lens, smiling. The next morning I found another notice. This one was different. Notice of hearing. Potential removal action. I felt my heart slam against my ribs. She was trying to push me out of my own home. The notice sat on my kitchen counter all night. Notice of hearing. Potential removal action. I must have read it 20 times. They were threatening liens, legal action, even foreclosure. All because one woman decided I offended her worldview. I barely slept. But sometime around 3 a.m., fear turned into something else. Resolve. The next morning I didn't call the HOA. I called a lawyer. Not a big firm, a local one who specialized in HOA abuse cases. I forwarded everything. The gym incident report, the police case number, every HOA notice, every photo, the camera footage. There was a long pause on the phone. Then he said, "This is bad for them." My lawyer sent formal letters demanding documentation for every violation. They couldn't produce it. He also filed a complaint citing harassment, retaliation, and discrimination. Then came the cameras. Footage of her inspecting my property alone. Footage of her smiling at the lens. Footage timestamps matching violation notices. The pattern was undeniable. The next HOA meeting was packed. Word had spread. My lawyer attended with me. She was there too. Still confident. Still smug, until my lawyer stood up. He calmly laid out the timeline. Gym incident. Police involvement. Violation flood. Targeted enforcement. Then he played the video. The room went silent. She turned pale. "This is out of context," she said. My lawyer smiled. "Context is everything," he replied. Other homeowners started speaking up. Suddenly I wasn't alone. She did that to me too. I got fined for nothing. She threatened me. It snowballed. The board panicked. They adjourned early. 2 weeks later I got the email. She had been removed from the HOA board. Permanently. All violations against me were voided. The fines were refunded. A month later, I heard through the grapevine that she'd tried pulling the same stunt at another gym. This time she was arrested. Turns out, holy water assault doesn't go over well with judges. I still go to the gym. Different location. Same mindset. Belief is personal. Power isn't holy. And entitlement always exposes itself eventually. If you're dealing with someone like this, document everything. Stay calm. And don't let anyone weaponize belief against you. Because karma doesn't need holy water. It's already potent enough.